Greetings, Matt comrades. It is your humble DM, Mike Gergoni, here to let you know that we here at Material Components are now part of the Punch Up Entertainment Network. Punch Up is proud to present such podcasts as Panel Up, The Action Shelf, and the very podcast you're listening to right now. And of course, the best way to support all of these shows is by going to patron.podbean.com/punchup and becoming a patron today. When you do, you'll get access to all sorts of bonus content, including a brand new one-shot from the folks here at Material Components, in which our heroes attempt to solve a murder in the urban fantasy streets beyond the Veil. If you ever wanted to hear Michael Listman playing as Detective Sasquatch, now's your chance. Once again, that's patron.podbean.com/punchup. Thanks for all the support, and now let's get you into this week's episode. Material Components, Season 2, Episode 79, Phantom Menace. Greetings and welcome to Material Components, the actual play RPG show all about a galaxy of magic and the adventurers who live there, brought to you by the Punch Up Entertainment Network. I am your humble Dragon Master, Mike Gergoni, and joining me, as always, are my stalwart adventurers. Hey adventurers, thanks for being here.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hello.
What's going on, fellow kids?
Nothing much, Steve Buscemi. What's up with you?
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
The worst part about that is that my brain is full of 30 Rock rot, so I know that you accidentally messed up that line.
Yeah.
I'm not getting
Anyway.
Copyright struck by them. You know they listen to this podcast. I'm
That's
looking
true, they
at you.
do. Hey, Lord
Yeah.
Michaels, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Avid listener, Lord Michaels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said it here first.
Hey everybody. I'm Olivia, and I am playing Florian of Aquilar.
I'm Elliot, and I am playing Shay.
I am Michael, and I'm playing Oswald Octavian Theophilus III.
And I'm Reed, and I'll be playing Amari.
Indeed. And of course, before I begin today's session, I have to ask the same question I ask every time, and that is, Elliot,
Yeah.
do you remember what happened last time?
Yes. Between the night of the 35th and 36th of Hirnal, on the moon-designated 3098675,
Lean into it.
there was a death. When the Mari was notified of the body, he and Oswald inspected the corpse of the miner, who most of us had only met just the day before. And the body brought a fear of Florian, since it looked very much like the corpse that Florian had inadvertently drained of all its aether and radioactively killed, decimated. And there was some quick work to, if not figure out what happened, then to at least clear Florian on Shay's part after being told about what happened.
And it worked, too. Florian is 100% cleared.
I don't actually think that we...
Yep, court of law.
We operate with moon law here.
But in attempting to...
Secret moon law.
because it seemed that the mine, something in the mine, deep, deep underground, pulsed and awakened in the night, and the systems of the Tiresian went down for 2 hours. We're not recording any information on the ship. And in the attempt to double check some of that information on the mine's systems, there was a bit of a verbal altercation between Chief Scowell and Amari, because the miners are very upset that one of their comrades, friends, has died under circumstances that they don't understand or, I think, know about. And then there was a bit of a verbal altercation between various members of our party. But it's a show and we're all still friends, so it's okay. Okay, hand wave there from Listman, dear listeners. Okay. Shit. No, Shay
First
being very
one out the
insistent about
airlock.
Oh, that was always going to be the case.
Yeah. This is the end game for Oswald.
Yeah.
Shay being very insistent on going into the storage area in the mine because it seems that one of the guards that had come with Layla is also been decimated, and our guy Prontus Macius is missing. So Shay was very insistent on going to that where he was being kept to kind of get an etheric feel for him, see if we can, I don't know, get him back here or whatever. And Amari was not super keen on that, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. And the last thing that we saw was going to the cell and the message scrawled on the back of this cave, leave while you can. And I suppose we're gonna find out if we're going to do that or if we even can.
This is true, because there has not been one, but 2 deaths here on the mining colony 309-8675. Because when you went to go find the prisoner, Prontus Macius, you also discovered not only was he missing from the cell he had been left in, but one of the guards that had been set to patrolling the camp at night was also dead in a similar manner as a couple of people now. Desiccated and dried out and bereft of aether, with their eyes turned to seemingly jade. The first victim also had a strange dusting of salt.
Oh, this is
on
true.
them, which
Forgot about that.
Oswald noticed. With his impeccable investigatory skills.
I see what you did there, Peck. Yeah, that's very good.
Because he's a birdman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you get it, audio listeners?
Do you get it?
Well, I just want to make sure they understand what's going on here.
Thank you. Appreciate that, yeah. Let's all bask in my wordplay for a moment.
I'm deaf, so I'm just guessing at what you're saying. I'm pretty good at reading lips.
That
It
explains
is incredibly
your roleplay.
impressive.
Yeah.
Damn, sick burn right out of the gate.
Man, I'm sassy tonight. I don't know what's going on.
But as Jamiroquai once wrote, we now go deeper underground as we go back to Amari and Shay. The guards that came with you are still posted outside, but the 2 of you find yourselves just inside the mine. The steep passage further into the underground is rolling out before you, dimly lit by the faint little crystals that are here and there dot the wall here. I wouldn't say it's exactly well lit, but it's not as though it's totally black down here in this mine. They are mining magical space crystals after all. Remind me, Oswald, did you accompany these 2 as you...
No, I did not. Although I believe
Right.
Amari was going to stream the findings to Oswald.
Just wanted to confirm that, yes. So
We're about to find out why.
Using a personal data pad, I'm assuming you are recording and transmitting this back to your companions, Amari.
Yeah, we're not too terribly far underground. So it should be
In fact,
able
we're
to...
still ground level, I think.
Yeah, the entrance is literally
Yeah.
directly behind you. You've gone less than 30 feet into this mine. There is daylight backlighting you. If there were some watcher deeper in this dark place looking at the outlines perfectly clear against the daylight, they would be able to very easily pick you out from the entrance to the cave.
Now, Mike, why would you say something like that?
It's cinematic, Olivia. That's where the camera is.
Yeah.
Painting a word picture.
Well, not for any particular reason. I am going to step into the cave, or into the room.
Okay. So, Oswald, where are you as you're watching this?
Great question. Somewhere in the camp, I would assume. Probably
Are you
not.
still in the sample lab and storage and mess with everyone else?
No, I would be in a separate room. I think, knowing that I'm going to be watching them find a body, I feel like I should probably be separated.
Okay, where did you go?
Let's look at the map here.
Yeah, remember this is a very, very small camp. There are only 5 buildings total here. 6 if you count the control tower that is south of here with the vehicle pads.
Let's pull it up. Okay.
You've got bunkhouses, which you wouldn't have access to those rooms necessarily, except for the
Right.
room with the murdered person in it.
True.
There's the pump house, which is right outside the mine. There's the equipment shed, which is a distance away and further to the south.
Yeah. Let's go with the pump house, I guess. It's relatively close. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right. You enter into a very loud concrete building that is full of this wub, 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 wub sound.
How easy is it to
water
hear
is being pumped?
what's going on in this room? Like, hear the recording or the video transmission. Is it difficult to hear? Because
If
of
it
how
was
loud
just
is?
playing, if the audio was just playing out of your data pad, probably pretty difficult, but you could easily have an earpiece in.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Okay. Florian, where are you?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. If Oswald doesn't say oh, I need privacy for this, then Florian will probably go with him because I don't really want to be by myself in this sort of awkward situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, because the miners, Layla, and her retainers are all still back at the command bunker, the sample lab and storage building. And so most of you, plus her 2 guards, left to go to the mines, though Florian and Oswald broke off to go to the pump house and observe, because it was deemed that anyone with the aether leaching ability in this locality might trigger something. You don't know what.
I just don't want to exacerbate things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I really do want to drive home the nature with which now Florian, looking over Oswald's shoulder, are watching this almost found footage-esque detailing of coming into this mine from almost a first-person perspective of Amari's point of view, and coming across this body and this warped cage and the words scratched onto the mine wall inside the cage itself. The audio you're getting is mostly the sounds of shifting clothing and gear as Amari resettles the camera. Correct me if I'm wrong, Reed, but I would imagine Amari has it propped up on a strap somewhere near his shoulder or something to keep both of his hands free.
Mm-hmm.
Florian,
Yeah.
as you see those words come up on screen, leave while you can, as Amari turns towards them, I need you to roll me a d12.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I love that. 5.
Okay. You watch as Shay moves past Amari and enters into the caged area. Shay, what are you doing in there?
I think that Shay kind of stares at the body for a little, a beat too long, and then is okay. It's gonna look like I'm not doing anything, but just give me a second. And I'm going to try to pick out Prontus Macius's etheric sense. I think what it is Shay just sort of stands there meditatively and tries to pull on the like the few navigations I've done, as well as like Mr. Zin talking me through stuff. And like I think it starts with feeling out the ones that are there and then trying to go deeper into feeling the etherics and trying to find what's not there. But we'll see how it goes, because I'm assuming I have to roll for this.
Yes, you do.
It is sort of like the whole conceit of the game. So
I would like to think so, yeah.
I'm going to use my specialization, reach out, touch eighth, which seems appropriate, which is a D8. And I have a D6 in perception, so I can use both of those, right?
So your reach out and touch eighth is under perception, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could use both the general and the specialization talents.
Just wanted to make sure.
Plus your tactic and whatever eighth you want to throw on.
Tactics, the way I described it makes it seem like it's a careful thing. I sort of put the mindfulness thing in sort of a careful quadrant. So that is a D6. I have a question about feeling spectacularly. So now that we have separated... I haven't rolled yet, mind you.
Go on.
Okay. I haven't even rolled yet. But since we have separated out dice for talents, is it just like... So I'm rolling 2 things in perception. So I just have to get... So if I get a 1 on my tactic and a 1 on one of my talents, does that count? Okay.
Correct.
Okay. What if it's both 3?
We will adjudicate that when the time comes.
That's fair. Watch me be the first. And then I'm going to put 3 of my own aether into this. What are we looking at in terms of... This is a thing I've never done before, and it's probably not easy.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
You are attempting to find traces of a person's aura, essentially.
Yeah. Using crystals.
Using the healing power of crystals. Their etheric signature is an inherent thing in everybody in the Dragon's Wake. It is kind of the thing that you use to build etheric constructs on top of yourself in terms of the metanet. It is what you use to like unlock doors or like access secure things that would recognize that energy pattern within you. And it's unique to each person. It's like a fingerprint.
But it's like a fingerprint that has a half-life.
Precisely. It also doesn't help that this guy was only here for about a day. The longer a person is in a place, the longer their etheric signature kind of like wears on the energy of the area they're in. And so that groove is kind of dug into something. So this would be pretty incredible if you manage to do this thing that you've never done before in a place that is not where this guy lives, of a guy who, in all likelihood, based on what you know about him, is probably like has some form of training to not get tracked in this way.
Stupid. What an asshole.
He did try to kidnap and kill a half of your crew, so I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. What an asshole. Okay, so 25.
So 25, yes.
Okay, so that is...
And also, just keep in mind, for everyone playing this evening, we do have an alley-oop still on the clever track there.
I put that in the wrong spot. I was filling my character sheet, my new character sheet, our new playtesting one. But I think I had the tactics in a different order on my old one, because I put my D10 in forcefully, which is not where that goes.
Yeah, it seems off.
Yeah. How hard would I have to argue to switch the tactics so that I could use the alley-oop?
I mean, you haven't rolled yet, so
This
I
is
would say
true.
not super hard.
Okay. I wanna.
Well, just this once.
Okay. So that's double.
That will double your tactic die, yeah.
Okay. Man, what if I roll a 1 on all 4 of these? That would be so fucking funny.
Boy, I would laugh so hard.
Make a new character. Okay, I'm also going to use 3 of my own Aether. So I'm rolling my tactics and talents foist. No, those are actually pretty okay. So 16, 18 already.
Just for my own edification, how many dice total are you rolling?
7.
Wow, okay.
5d6, a d10, and 2d10.
Nice.
Oh, and one of
So
those
we've already
was a
got
1.
18.
So I get that back. 18 plus 9 is 27, probably.
18 plus 9 is 27, yes. So that succeeds.
Huzzah!
Oswald, Florian, you watch as Shay enters this space. And Amari, you're standing back a little ways watching, so the camera has a good view of Shay's whole body standing facing... Which direction, Shay? Are you facing Amari or are you facing the wall?
I'm
How evocative of Blair Witch can we get
Blair
right
Witch no.
Okay.
I'm probably like Amari is probably the camera's probably looking at Shay in profile. So like I'm not looking at the scary wall or at Amari. I'm looking at a neutral wall.
Okay. A neutral wall in this dark cave in which there's a corpse next to you.
Yes.
Not the scary wall. Got it.
Listen, walls are not inherently good or bad.
Of course a wall can be evil.
No, I'm saying all the walls down here are evil.
God.
It's part of a system, an establishment, okay? An establishment of evil.
Mm-hmm.
You reach out and you are erasing the other stimuli that you are absorbing here. So sight, sound, taste, touch, all your normal senses, you try to remove yourself from them, focusing only on the etheric. This is something that you've recently learned more and more about, and in expanding your wizardly acumen with the help of Mr. Zinn and time training, you're learning about this sense that everyone possesses, but so few people actually spend the time to hone, and learning just how versatile and powerful and almost addictive it can be to give yourself over to just this sense is something you're having to cope with. Because when you let the rest wash away and you feel the world in a way that others really can't, you almost feel sorry for them because of that. You feel these pulsings of energy, these rollings, rhythms of what you know to be emotion coming from Amari. You feel these like dark thrumming pulses from the earth beneath you that you know is the mine and all of the aethite that is down there. It is almost like a sun welling up from the earth, and no dirt or stone separates the two of you as you give yourself over to a little shoal of the astral sea here. Your thoughts are pulled back and you linger in this place, and you try to focus on the presence that was kept here, if only for a brief period of time. Prontus Macius is a careful individual. What little you know about him suggests that he is a dangerous individual, that he is tailor-made by the life he has led to be dangerous. Finding that presence isn't incredibly difficult, because compared to the presences of the folk that have worn away the etheric signatures in this place, the miners, those who work day in, day out, pulling crystal from stone, Prontus Macius stands out like a sore thumb. His is a presence not of detailed life or vibrant joy. His is one of ground down, precise violence. He is a knife among pickaxes. Florian, you watch Shay's eyes go that strange pearlescent rainbow color as they give themselves over to wizard shit.
#wizard shit.
As you watch, and Florian, you are the only one who sees this. Amari, standing right there, you do not see this. Oswald, watching the same data pad, you do not see this. Shay, giving yourself over to the astral sea, you do not see this. Florian, you see a long, dark arm coming down from the ceiling towards Shay. It is made of wispy darkness. It has long, tapering fingers that curl backwards towards the back of the hand. It is as though the fingertips are being blown by a wind that is even now pressing against the hand as it comes down, and the whole fingers will curl backwards like some kind of terrible windsock being caught by winds as it reaches down from the top of the frame towards Shay.
I think I do the thing that you do when you're watching a horror movie and something happens. I think Florian literally says, "Shay, get out of there!" Just
Oswald,
to the data pad.
Oswald, startled, like juggles the data pad for a bit and drops it on the ground, and goes to pick it up. What, Florian? What's the matter with you?
The thing, the arm, the
what? What are you talking about? And then he holds up the data pad and looks at it.
Yeah, is it still there?
The arm is now touching Shay's shoulder, and a figure is pulling itself down
Oh, yeah.
to stand behind Shay.
out of the pump house. I'm gonna go run to the mine.
What?
God.
Florian?
I mean, there's
are
an
you
audio.
going?
We've got audio here, right? Right.
All you hear from the other end is this wub 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 wub.
Lovely.
Super loud pump house.
Perfect and cool.
Right.
There's probably like a clatter noise as the tablet hits the ground, but then yeah.
I think Florian takes off towards the mine, and Oswald's like standing there for a bit. Oh, whatever. And then he just follows his skitters after Florian.
Shay,
Mm-hmm.
you feel the presence of Prontus Macius. It was here. It exerted a tremendous amount of strength to destroy the gates that was here. A huge burst of etherically enhanced strength. That is how you can tell what happened here.
Right. Okay. So, now... Oh, okay, sorry. It looked like you were gonna keep going, and I was like, no. Okay. So...
I mean, I'm always going.
That's true. I think once they've got it, they like come back and like, okay, I've got the feel of it now. I'm not really sure. I've never tracked anyone's etheric signature before, but I can probably feel it out if I'm close enough to him.
Okay. I'm assuming he didn't go further into the mine, right?
I mean, it's a good question. Would I have to roll to feel that out again?
You have him now.
Yeah.
So it would probably be less difficult.
Okay.
But figuring out a person's movements based on their etheric signatures, if they're not actively using Aether, is difficult.
Yeah.
If you were close enough, you're absolutely right. You could sense him now and know where he is if he was close.
Yeah. So he's definitely the one that sorry. He's definitely the one that bust the doors open for sure.
Okay.
I mean, you know the guy better than I do, and the bar is pretty low, but does he seem like the type of guy who would escape and go deeper into a mine?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Not if he's saying run where you can, you know.
No, I guess I wouldn't know about the letters. They didn't have any kind of signature on them or vibe.
If he did them, he didn't need etheric strength to
Right.
do it. And it looks like they're just like scored into the wall here. They're not like carved in like a chisel. It's just like somebody scratched at the rock enough that you can make out these words.
Okay. Yeah, could have been him.
From the entrance of the mine, Amari, you hear one of the guards saying, "Sir."
Yeah. Go ahead.
You gotta let me through.
And you also hear Florian.
Okay. All right. We're coming back.
Florian.
Yeah.
Can I push my way through the... Yeah, you also hear Oswald shouting in the distance.
You don't, Florian. You don't have to push through the guard. We'll be right there. I can see you.
Yeah, but can I push through the guards?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
Let 'em through.
I'm gonna fucking skid into this room. Is there still a big creepy arm?
You do not see any big creepy arms.
Florian, what's going on? I thought you weren't gonna...
There was a thing. I saw it on the data pad. Damn it, it's
Oh.
gone.
Oh, okay.
There,
thing.
there was like a big long like you were showing Shay on the data pad, and there was like a big long hand tendril thing that like reached down and touched them.
Ugh, I didn't feel anything.
I
It
didn't
was-
see anything either.
Yeah. Which, if it was something etheric, you maybe wouldn't have been able to see it. But we should probably get out of here.
Yeah,
in
no,
case
I
it comes back.
I've got the scent, more or less, so if we get close enough to Pontus Macius, if he's hiding somewhere, like if he's hiding on Layla's ship or in the woods, I don't know, I'm not going to go in the woods by myself and try to fucking find him, but I can probably feel him out, so yeah, let's get out of this terrible place.
Just to remind you all, one of the other reasons you came to this location to begin with was the energy spike that the Tiresian detected from the mine. Whatever caused it, the only way you can get more information about that is from the more sensitive devices near the bottom of the mine.
Oh, is that
And
the other reason we came in here?
I mean, Chief Scowell did not want to send any of his people down into the mine if the Aethite was acting hinky, but he did admit like that was the only way you were going to learn more about what caused that. I'm not saying you have to go do that right now. I'm just saying
Okay.
that is something that might be on the itinerary. I don't know.
We should not do that right now. We should
What if
go.
we did? We're already here.
At this point is
Poke
when
the etheric
Oswald
bear.
enters. What's going on? Florian, what
Oswald?
is the matter with you? What? Yes?
There was a thing on the data pad. I just had to make sure that it wasn't gonna jump down and get Shay and Amari and these
What are you talking
fellas.
about? I was looking at the data pad. I didn't see anything.
There was a big long shadow arm. You didn't see that?
No, I did not see that.
You didn't see that?
No.
What are some of the Mike? What are some of the quintessential symptoms of?
I mean, hallucinations we
going
already have
void-mad.
determined are one of them.
What is
Fantastic,
And-
fan-freaking-tastic.
Florian, what did you see exactly? You saw something reach out?
I will describe it exactly as you did, Mike. The hand with the fingers being brushed backwards as if in a wind.
On Shay's shoulder?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, yeah.
Shay, you mind if I take a look?
Really
Oh,
quick.
yeah, sure.
While Oswald, or before Oswald does that, did it look like when the fingers were being blown back? Did it look like they were being? Was it there's an aura around Shay that they had to force themselves through, or was it just weird and creepy?
It can be both.
Okay, but it did maybe give that impression of there was resistance at some point.
Imagine a hand made of a thin, gauzy cloth, that despite the fact that there is a wind acting upon it, it is still pushing itself towards whatever is causing the wind.
I will not be imagining that.
Sounds
Thank
like
you,
some sort of Blender animation.
Imagine it's just skin. Okay, let's make it worse.
No. It was dark and made of strange, gauzy shadow stuff.
Love it.
Nice.
All right. But yeah, you should definitely check and see if
Yes.
Shay
Yeah,
has any.
I'm sleeveless today. Check it out.
Do I see anything? Do I observe a salty handprint of some sort?
You find a very thin rime of salt
No.
on Shay's shoulder.
Yes.
Yes. Should I brush it? Can I brush it off now, or do you need to?
Wait, hold on. Let me just take a
Okay.
sample of that and just brush it into a something. I don't know.
Florian is like attempting to, as they're talking, like trying to push them out of the jail cell.
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on. Now, I know we saw the body through Amari's search, but I'd like to take a quick look, if you don't mind.
Okay, but there is an invisible, creepy hand thing.
Yeah, but you could see it, right? You can see it. So, but you don't see it now, right? So we're good.
Florian will just big shrug.
But this
I have a
is
terrible
proof.
idea.
Yes.
Amari, turn your thingy to me, and also someone look at the. Oh, but it's a terrible
God.
idea, right?
The
Ooh.
worst horror movie.
Oh, we gotta do it. We
trope
have to do it.
Or
Oh,
horror video game trope.
oh no, this is
Can only
excellent.
see it through
Florian, look
the
at the
the
data
camera.
pad. Ooh.
I don't want to.
No, this is good. This is good.
I'll do
Yeah.
it. I'll do it. I don't mind.
I'll look.
Well, you can't
I'll look
see
through
it.
Oh, you're right.
Okay,
oh,
okay,
shoot.
okay. Oswald,
I'll look through
Oswald?
the data pad.
Yeah, yeah. Florian, you look through the data
Around the
pad.
room.
Oswald, you hold the data pad, my data pad, and I'll train a gun at whatever's supposedly there, okay?
So wait, I'm holding your data pad. Who's holding my data pad?
Florian.
Florian, because Florian's
Okay.
the one that can see the thing.
Okay, right. Okay.
So you just sort of like direct it around the room. See, it's like still here.
We figured out that we're safe as players, right? In a video game. Oh, it can't hurt us until we see it. But once we see it, oh shit, it's going to pop off.
All right. Well, let's do this.
All right, here we go.
In the name of science.
I have Peerless drawn. I'm ready. Like, I'm aiming at, like, above Shay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start the worst level of
The
any
worst
horror
thing we
video
can
game.
It's a weird
I'm gonna
Silent
scan
Hill
around
level.
the room and see if there's any.
Oh, we've moved past Silent Hill. We're in Fatal Frame now, y'all.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
That's
no,
right,
exactly.
yeah.
Literally, we are in Fatal Frame.
A game I had completely forgotten about. For, good reasons to forget about that.
You're
Holy shit.
welcome.
All right, so pulling out this data pad, you turn on the video setting, Florian, and you slowly raise it to look down the mine shaft.
It is slow too, and I think he's sort of making a like noise, just very gently. Yeah, I'm gonna scan the room really quickly first that we're in, the chamber, and then I will doing that thing where you don't want to peek around the corner. It's just me playing Amnesia.
Me playing Amnesia, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, again, remember, there's not really a chamber. There's a closet that this guy is being kept in.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So starting in there with the words, "Leave while you can," and the center of the frame, you turn it on. And there is the light being cast by the datapad itself that is trying to accommodate for the darkness of the mine. The camera lens going in and out of focus slightly on the words as the light is adjusting and the lenses are trying to capture this space in naturalistic light as the chems in this thing try to understand it anyway. There's nothing in the closet besides those words etched on the wall. And as you slowly pan away across the ruined, twisted wires of the door that have been burst from the inside, as you track towards the deep darkness of the mine shaft that leads deeper underground, you don't see anything.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Whew. Yeah, there's nothing here anymore.
Well, that's all
Okay.
good for our, you know, immediate safety, but I would like a way to be able to record whatever this is. Having some sort of physical proof of Florian's innocence would be quite useful.
The salt is on my shoulder. The salt on the guy, assaulting the other guy.
It would, yes, but that would just be our word against, whatever they happen to believe at this time.
And also, yeah, there's a monster that leaves salt on your shoulder, but don't worry, no one but me can see it. Might sound a little...
Okay.
Yeah, not our best card to play.
We just, we just need empirical evidence, that's all. So perhaps we go deeper into the mind and find it. Right? We all go in? It can't just be me, because I'm, what if something's high up or whatever?
Right. How, if we get in trouble, though, how do we defend ourselves against something that only Florian can see through a camera that sucks you dry of your aether and kills you very dead?
Now, technically, we don't know that Florian can only see it through the camera, right? Perhaps it left before Florian and I arrived. So it could be something that
enough.
Florian could see in person. Just throwing that out there.
Fair enough. So how do we defend ourselves against something only Florian can see that is incorporeal and kills you dead?
Well, the first thing we should do is maybe we should do a quick retreat and see if we can find any information on this on the meta net. Anything
retreat,
meeting. Yes. And then delve deep into the mind. Find the evidence we're looking for. Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Good enough for me.
All right. Well, wow. Wasn't expecting that to work.
You'll turn and start to leave?
Yeah. I mean, this can't be the first mind that's had something creepy and horrible happen to it.
Although I will say...
I mean, they're mine, so no.
Exactly.
I will say, the instruments at the base of this mine were able to get a good reading, as far as we've been told. Perhaps this could help us narrow down what we are looking at, right?
In point of fact, they have not.
Oh, they have not. Never mind.
The
They
basic
could.
instruments they have up here got like a reading that confirms
That's
the
right.
spike that the Tiresian detected at night. But to get more detailed information, you will need to access the machines that are near the bottom of the mine.
Right.
Question about those machines that are at the bottom. Are they on an isolated system?
If they weren't, you would assume that Chief
Right,
Scowl
oh,
would have
that's
said,
true.
Yes.
I was thinking that maybe we could have Mara just pop in there and get a reading for us so we didn't have to go down there, but I don't think we can do that.
Well, no sense.
Also,
sending,
it is potentially a dangerous thing that like feeds on etherics, and she is entirely made of etherics, so that might be bad.
Builds character.
dying?
depends on the character.
Yeah, it builds.
It did
I was
for
gonna say,
Oswald.
Yeah.
it builds character because then you have to build a new character
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It would also be extremely dangerous.
Okay. As you're leaving and going back towards daylight, the two guards at the entrance to the mine are definitely exchanging worried looks, having overheard a lot of this. And Florian, you stumble slightly. Something makes your hoof go out from underneath you. You don't fall or anything, but just like there's something makes you slip.
Okay, I will look
There's
down.
a slight clatter, and you look down, and it looks like this long, thin sliver of white material,
Styrofoam?
bone-like.
Oh. Okay.
You
This
didn't
makes
have to
sense.
clarify it. Like, we knew it was bone-like.
I mean, Lisman said styrofoam. I think he'd probably
Yeah.
moved it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I needed it. It was for me.
Can I... I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
Seems cursed, whatever.
It's a small bit of bone. It maybe came from like a finger or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it with me out of the mine.
Okay. You all leave the mine. Bone in hand.
Several, actually. All right. So, I suppose I'll do a little bit of digging. Does this sound like a ghost of some sort? Like some sort of etheric ghost? Is that the kind of... I guess I can do a knowledge or a research check to...
I mean, I'll say even before you roll, ghosts are real.
Yeah.
Somebody with strong enough etherics who dies suddenly while using those etherics can leave like an echo behind in certain situations. And those echoes are usually extremely violent and have been known to kill people. It happens more often than not to wizards, but it can happen to mages as well.
I guess you'll find out from the research on that whether or not they're just like, yep, and they leave salt behind too.
Like to be specific.
While you're researching
Get out your.
that,
Oh, sorry.
if you are researching that, you
Sure. We're currently standing outside of the mine. I don't know if we need to go somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
I-
we're walking and talking.
yeah, actually, this might not be information that's on the greater net. It might be something that Layla could know, though. If there have been any other
Ventures here, other
and
operations.
specifically ones that had deaths.
Well, there
I
was
can ask her.
someone who died here a while ago, if I recall. Scowl
Nope.
mentioned. No?
No, he
As a
he
different-
died on a different mining planet. He
Oh,
was part of the like main group, but it was a different
okay.
Mhm.
Never mind.
Where are you headed? Are you going back to the sample lab?
That's where everybody is. Probably not.
That's where you left them. It's been less than 20 minutes. It's still pretty early in the morning.
That's true. Probably not there. Although somebody should somebody update them, or at least assuage any concerns they may have.
Have we come to a point where we can assuage concerns? That's great. I wish
I
someone
don't
had let me know.
I'm just saying. A bunch
I
of
feel
people
like the
very
information
anxiously.
that we have now is worse to share.
It is. I would say so.
I mean,
okay, let me correct my sentence. Lie to them. Let's
No,
lie
I don't
to
think
them
we should lie to them.
to make them feel better.
I do think that Scowl and Layla should be updated. I mean, they should know about the message that's in the cave and make their decisions about what they want to do with regards to that. I would like to take one of these guards, and I am actually concerned that Frontis Macius might be hiding on Layla's ship. I would like to talk to one of these guards, one of her contingent, about the makeup of their ship and if that's possible, and maybe do a sweep to see if he's hiding and gonna pop out and stab somebody.
Right.
Because if he's just randomly in the woods somewhere, then there's not a whole lot that any of us can do about that.
Bigger fish to fry at the moment. Oh,
Yeah.
ghosts.
But if he's, somewhere where we could find him, then I would like to know where that is, if it is.
Right. Well, Amari, I say you update your wife and Scowl, and I will take care of researching whatever it is that is in this mine. And then, Shay, you can, I suppose, check the ship, or... I shouldn't be giving orders. I'm just a little bird man. I'll let you do what you need to do.
quick cue.
Yes, Florian.
Our Vesnes and Kala went with us to the mess room, right?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And presumably they're still there.
Okay. So we should also update. I mean, we don't have to get into it, especially for Kala. Maybe I think that. Anyway, we should just let them both know that Prontius Macius is like out. So if they go back to the Tiresian, just to like make sure he's not hiding on our ship. I mean, I know that like, especially now that we know that there was like a 2-hour blackout where Mira wasn't recording ins and outs.
Or that he's
Exactly what
make sure
no
he's not
he's
stealing our ship.
I don't think
As you say
Mara
that-
would let him steal our
Tiresian
ship.
takes off as we say that.
I have just rolled a void dice, and the danger gauge is going to increase to the medium threshold. And Shay, you get an alert on your personal
piss.
comm from Mara, saying that somebody is attempting to steal the Golden Comet.
But I
Oh.
took so many parts out of it. How? Nuts.
All
and
right,
I'm
well,
gonna
there we go. We know
make
where
my
he
way-
is now.
Well, shit. Now I know. Well, I'm glad I spent all that time trying to figure out what this dude felt like. Shit.
Well, that solves one mystery. One more mystery to go, I suppose. Well done, me. Anyways, I'm going to start investigating, or I'm going to try and find something. I don't know what I necessarily need to roll for that, Mike.
So Shay gets an alert that somebody's trying to steal the
Yeah,
Golden
so
Comet.
I
and
love the
Florian
I
and
love the
Shay
visuals
are
of
gonna
this.
go,
That
I think, yeah.
Florian
Like,
and Shay
hold
run
on.
towards the Tiresian, and Oswald's
You
just
can
like,
take care of that.
oh, great! You guys go have fun.
I mean, did you tell us what's going on, or is it just like you got a text message? I'm just trying to figure out like if that was shared.
I think
with
Shay
us or
says
not.
like, I do think that Shay says something like, "Well, that answers that fucking question," and takes off. So I don't know. Take from that what you will.
I'll follow. That's
Yeah, I mean, if Shay's running, then I guess.
Then
going
there's
with
something
them.
wrong because I don't do that. Oh, and then I remember halfway through I can levitate. I run like 50 feet and then I'm like, oh wait, shit.
And Jean Grey the rest of your
Yeah.
way there. And Florian and Amari, you are following.
Oh, yeah.
The two guards that were with you are sticking to you, Omari, as you take off.
Great.
And Oswald, you're just hanging out and starting some metanet research
I don't think I even
in the middle of the road here.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking. I don't even notice everybody leave, you know? So the next time I look up, I'm by myself. Yeah,
I really
think-
hope this horrible phantom thing doesn't kill Oswald. Well, if this was a horror movie, Oswald would be
And,
dead.
And here I am sitting by myself, talking to myself. That's chaos theory.
All right. The three of you plus two guards rush back to the Tiresian. You find that the cargo bay doors have been opened, and there is a figure sitting in the partially disassembled cockpit of the Golden Comet, attempting to get it to start, despite the fact that, yes, indeed, you have pulled out a lot of parts of it already.
And I'm about to make it stop working.
Mm-hmm.
So. That feels pretty swift. I feel like I'm taking a swift action. And I'm gonna wreck it.
Okay.
So that's 2d8. Plus my d6 for advanced tech. How much aether is in the Golden Comet at the moment?
None. You've
Yeah.
stripped this thing
Yes.
effectively.
Oh,
Like,
so he's
it's-
probably using his own etheric to try to jump it.
That's a safe assumption.
Okay. I'm gonna pull
just
an
an idiot.
aether from the Tiresian. I don't think this guy is as stupid as I want him to be. I'm going to pull an Aether from the Tiresian and use one of my own. How hard is this going to be? How difficult?
This should be easy. This
Right?
thing shouldn't be able to fly to begin with.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta roll my tactic and talents. Hoist. So I'm rolling 3d6 and 2d8.
Yep, to try to get 10.
Yeah, which, like, okay. I did. And I still have my 8 to roll, so...
I would like a total.
That is fair. 19. Oh! I'm gonna spend an XP to reroll one of my Aether.
Cool and good.
Oh, I can choose any dice to reroll.
Correct.
Okay. Gonna reroll my advanced tech. Yeah. So that puts me at 15, 24.
24. Okay, that is a critical victory. So you can get a couple of options. You can make an alley-oop. You can remove someone from the conflict. You can lower the danger
Choice
gauge.
there. Pretty obvious choice there.
Yeah, I would love to pop the danger gauge down, but I do think that making it so that Prontus Macius cannot act meaningfully in this scene, yeah, would be good.
And the fact that you assume that it is Prontus Macius is probably why you go so hard so fast. So when Daryl comes screaming out of this cockpit as the Aether systems go wild in the Golden Comet, going, "Oh, shoot!" as he comes scrambling out slightly on fire. He's rolling around on the cargo bay and like patting himself and trying to put out the Aether fire that started in his overalls. You feel like you've maybe put a little too much effort into stopping this hick.
It's called hypervigilance. I'm valid.
And also he's like still trying to steal our
And also,
ill-gotten goods, so
Daryl, what the fuck?
And Daryl will kind of like keep rolling around going, oh God, I'm on fire. Oh, I'm on fire. And he's still on fire.
There's gotta be like, there is probably a fire suppression dealy thing down here. Like probably not, we don't call them fire extinguishers, but like,
Fire suppressor.
yeah, a fire suppressor. And I'm just like boredly standing there like, shh.
And this like crystalline blue powder just like coats him and immediately puts the fire out, and little tinkling beads of sapphire aethite like roll to the ground, now glowing a little bit, having absorbed the fire's energy.
Like that spill powder for stores.
A little bit, yeah, except with fire and crystals,
So it's cooler.
so it's much cooler. Daryl will stare up at you awkwardly as the group kind of comes in Reservoir Dog style and surrounds him.
and then we kill him, Reservoir Dog style.
Oh god. A man has died, Daryl. And this is what you're doing?
I just want to get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair, man, but like, there are other options. Sorry about the being on fire thing, but you weren't gonna get out with this thing anyway. Florian will kind of kick the Golden Comet a little bit.
And one of the bottom panels like falls off.
Oh, thanks for loosening that. I couldn't get that off last night.
The guards that accompanied you, Amari, will look to you, and there's an expression like, "You want us to get this guy?"
I mean, just take him back to the group.
I mean, let's all go back. Like, I'll help him up.
Daryl will kind of like gingerly get up. He seems to be overplaying a limp.
Yeah.
If Daryl fucking tries to sue us because he was injured on our property, I will be so mad.
It's part of the mining thing. here. They can't sue for anything that happens on this planet.
No, wait, that's not good either.
Yeah.
Nope, it's not. It super isn't, but them's the rules.
Oh, wait, are you trying to get workman's comp? Okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, let's actually we'll make it so that you tripped. It will help you get the
No,
workers' comp.
it seems very clear that Daryl was trying to escape the
Yeah.
situation.
Come on, let's all go back to the lab building.
We do have some information for everyone to hear, so...
While this is all happening, Oswald, you're standing kind of at the crossroads between the mine and the lab and everywhere else,
Yeah.
flicking through the metanet on your spectacles?
Yes, that is correct. Oh. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not sure if this would be an investigation or a knowledge check.
I mean, knowledge is basically trying to figure out stuff that you already know. I
Okay.
don't think you have any specializations in creepy salt ghosts.
No, I have atherophysics is probably the closest. I don't know if that's fully. Yeah.
That's about like how Aether reacts in
Yeah.
experimental situations.
It's true. Yeah. So yeah, no. What about history? Is there a recorded moments in recent Dragon's Wake history of ghosts, ether ghosts showing up?
Recent history or history?
Well, I just have Dragon's Wake history is my skill.
Okay. Yeah, you could absolutely give me a Dragon's Wake history roll to see if
Cool.
any of this is striking a chord.
I mean, I just my guess, but given the galaxy-spanning war that just happened, perhaps there may have been more.
Mm-hmm.
But I could be wrong. That's just a guess.
There have certainly been an uptick in ghostly activity in
Yeah.
the last 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of number am I looking for here, Mike?
What tactic are you using?
Clever.
Clever seems good. I would say this would be pretty incredible. This is some like folklore type information that I don't know if Oswald would have off the top of his head, but we're gonna roll and find out.
We sure are. Okay, well, I am going to roll my clever, my knowledge, and my Dragon's Wake history, and then I'm going to add 2 Aether points onto that.
So 25 is the number we're looking for here.
Yeah, we'll see if this happens. Let's see, I use 3.
And just keep in mind that the danger gauge is up still in the medium threshold, so failure will mean removal from the scene. Or
fair.
the scene here is the return of Daryl and the like reestablishment of order with the information you now have. So if you choose failure with this roll, it will mean that Oswald can't necessarily help out in the following scene that's going to happen.
Okay. Well, here's hoping. Okay. 21, 28. What number did I need to beat?
25
Oh.
is the number to beat.
Great.
Like I said, this is something more of folklore than like history, but there is history in folklore, obviously. Your research into matters of the void is what you're reminded of here. Because in that research, you've gone far and wide in terms of like, obviously studying the void directly is frowned upon, but there are a lot of like tangential subjects that people talk about and discuss and research in terms of like effects of void madness and void energy's effects on ships and things of that nature. There are also 1,000 creepy stories that spring up from space travel in general and stuff to do with the void specifically. For every story out there of ships just going into the void, never coming back, or going into the void and getting damaged by something, out there.
Mm-hmm.
The rarer story is of the ship that comes back empty. Of the ships that come, or not even come out of the void, but are found after leaving the void with their crews gone. With passengers seemingly vanished into thin air. Occasionally, for every 10 of those stories, there is one of a single survivor remaining on those vessels where the entire crew has disappeared. Those people are usually struck with void madness beyond repair, beyond cognition or recognition. And for every 10 of those stories, there is one of a survivor who is cognizant and aware enough to tell stories of spectral entities that followed them out of the void, of some kind of void ghost. They're called darklings.
Which you've already heard of, and are specifically have been asked to research.
There are lots of other creepy stories surrounding darklings. Sometimes it's empty ships where everyone's vanished mid-warp, and all that are found are little notes and messages of people in their last struggles against some supernatural something. And again, all of these are hearsay, spooky stories spread around on the metanet. None of this is well documented. None of this is like thoroughly researched. This is all just like tangential stuff that you get when you do a looking glass search of spooky void stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of creepypasta that involves the void is literally astronomical. A unifying bit of Darkling mythology is the presence of salt and smells of salt water on ships where the crews have vanished. Like a rancid ocean. That's a repeating motif. The precise, like, salty handprint, that's not necessarily something that's, like, a repeating thing that happens in these stories. But salt is, at times, associated with darklings.
Well, it will now when I publish my article about this.
The other thing that is, like, very commonly associated with darklings, and is probably, like, the most famous darkling stories usually involve this to one extent or another, is the masks they leave behind.
Literal masks?
You're not an expert, you don't... Literal masks. Like, you'll find an empty ship, and all that's left is a mask that is left there. And they're always made of bone. And, like, a little bit of metanet research while you, like, these stories, like, occur to you as all these facts come together, and you do a little bit of flipping through, and, like, yeah, a lot of these creepy stories that you can find on the metanet involve, like, people who are stricken with void madness who are found wearing a darkling mask, or a darkling mask found just by itself left alone in a ship, or a darkling mask will come up for auction in some, like, backwater antiques dealer, and then the person who buys that mask is cursed by the return of the darkling who comes looking for its mask.
That tracks. Is there any detail about, like, the masks appearing to be seamless, or do they appear to be made of smaller bones and bone fragments?
Depends who's writing the story. It changes.
Gotcha. Okay.
And again, none of this is, like, documented science. We're talking about, these are stories you're finding on the metanet.
It's all
that are
hearsay.
presented as though they're fact, but they are on, like, creepypasta sites that are meant to be like, and this actually happened.
I can think of a Taro that would believe every single thing I'm reading.
Midrian.
Oh,
He's
Midrian.
Midrian. I thought you were talking about me for a second. I was gonna be
No.
like, bro. Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah. It's good to have at least the folklore, understanding of it.
Yeah. And there are very similar stories told about ghosts as well, honestly. And sometimes the two are used interchangeably in certain stories.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So after I'm done researching, I'll look up expectantly to see the rest of the group.
We're walking back.
Oh, I see them walking back. Like, oh, okay, all right, well, and he'll just head over to and join the group. No, Prontus? You didn't find Prontus on the ship?
No, Daryl was trying to steal the Golden Comet.
Really? I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I mean,
missing
they are
so many
freaked
pieces.
out.
She's just freaked out.
Well, I can understand considering what we're dealing with.
I'm sorry, I'm all spooked.
It's understandable.
Yeah, Daryl, it's fine.
Right, well, dealing with some sort of void ghost can be quite terrifying, yes.
What?
Oh, right. Well, I was going to break it to all of you. Yes. Yeah, we're dealing with some sort of darkling creature. But on the positive, not Florian. So, yeah.
Not that anyone
There's so-
loudly.
there are
Not that
so
anyone
many
thought it was
witnesses.
Florian to begin with, because that would be wild.
Of course. Right. Obviously.
Daryl going, what?
Sorry, we've seen a lot of weird, fucked up shit, and it means we all have weird, fucked up senses of humor. It's not.
Have you
Amari,
ever...
when Oswald says darkling or like void ghosts, your first instinct is to immediately dismiss it because all those stories are mostly bullshit used to scare first-time spacers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what else could it, like, not what else could it be, but I mean, given the things that we saw Florian do on the ship, not like 2 weeks ago at this point.
That's true.
You know, it's like, sure, why not?
It might as
Though
well be this.
Another big detractor from that being the case, none of this is happening on a spaceship. This planet has not recently traveled through the void.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Florian brought it here. This is
This is void.
No,
the
this
void
is
incarnate.
This is the shit. This is the shit that Mr. Zinn was talking about. Stuff spreading. So, and you don't even know you're doing it. So, yeah. Okay. Cool.
So you all head back to the sample lab and mess area with Daryl in tow. When you arrive, you find Chief Scowell suddenly relieved that you have Daryl because they had thought he'd gone missing too.
We found your guy.
Oh, thank the gods. Where was he?
He had gotten turned around.
Yeah, out for a walk.
Just patting Daryl
Classic
on the
Daryl.
back.
And Daryl will once again say, "What? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Chief. Meant to tell you, I just needed some fresh air."
Yeah, he's all right though.
And Scowl will kind of give him a look, but then nod and say, "All right, well, just be sure we're all staying here until we get this sorted out. All right." And Daryl will nod and go sit over by Dave. The miners have now clumped up into groups over at the mess tables. Layla and her attendants are off to one side. They all have data pads out and are saying things to Layla, and she will have a response, and then they will key in some message. She's apparently having 3 different message conversations at the same time with different people trying to probably get help for this place.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine whether the best person to talk to first would be Scowl or Layla. Probably Layla. So,
I mean, are we telling them different levels of information?
I don't think so. I don't see any benefit to withholding information from anyone. It's such a small operation here that, everyone's already on edge.
If that's the case, it might be more expedient and also a good...
All right.
political move to loop them both in together.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I'd like pull them all aside and not them all, but those two, and give them the full rundown of everything that we found in the mine, the information that Oswald like found on the MetaNet, and be like, hey, this is the information. How do we go about solving this problem? Trying to be as like pragmatic as possible.
Are you telling them about the Florian stuff?
Well, Layla already knows. So I don't need to
then
bring
I guess,
that
are
up.
you telling Scowell
No,
about... Okay.
No.
So you're tactfully leaving out any mention of Florian's weirdness.
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes up of like, I mean, are you telling them about the weird spectral arm thing?
Yeah, okay, I would say, sure,
'Cause-
I would share that.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like that's not incredibly hard to Florian, like, to just like Florian
he's
is
from
void
Akalar.
touch.
It's probably an Akalar
yeah,
thing.
he has
I don't
Yeah.
know.
he has weird, cool void seeing abilities. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Don't worry about where this
No,
comes from.
actually-
Oh, don't worry. He's
No,
he's the Minotaur or whatever. Don't worry. He's cool. He's
No,
cool. I'll bring that up.
No,
Please don't
that
say
one.
that.
Please don't do that one.
But I really want to though. No.
I mean, that would be funny.
Mm,
I do love a good goof.
yeah.
Do you remember?
And
the
that
last
one is a
time-
classic.
And
Do you
yeah,
remember the last
you know,
time one
you
of
know
us
me.
inadvertently said something and it turned into a whole subplot? Remember?
That's why we're here, actually. Literally why we are here.
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Oh, that's fun.
All right. Amari, I'm going to need an influence roll.
Okay.
This will determine how Chief Scowell and Layla, to a lesser extent, take this information.
Let's see here. We used up the
How much of a panic are you causing?
Can I toss an assist on here?
Yeah, I'd like to as well.
Yeah, anyone can.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. So I'll have y'all roll those just so we can do this as a nice group effort.
Roll
We
them
can keep them
bones.
separate.
Oh, yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say
roll-
it will be hard to not present this information and cause some amount of panic. Not like a full-blown, but like, yeah, so distressing is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and be relatively clever here. And then let's say, since Layla is part of this conversation, I think my wife applies to this influence role. So she'll be there to hopefully back me up on this sort of thing. So I've got a D8 and a D10, and then just curious, what am I getting in terms of dice size from y'all for your assists on this?
D6
D8
from
from me.
Sorry, Lisman, what was that?
D8.
A D8. Okay, so this is pretty spicy. I'll throw an aether of my own on there.
Okay.
Why not?
It's okay. 7 plus 5 is 12. 16.
And a 3
Okay.
from me.
And 5 from
21,
me.
24, 29. One more.
Excuse me, Mike. That 7 was an 8.
Oh!
Said I?
Yeah.
So you're, yeah.
Yeah.
So that bumps us
Look 'em
to 30,
Yeah.
which is a critical
I know that
success.
sounds like sketchy as fuck that I was like, oh, I actually had this one more, but I fucked up my roll on the D8. So, yeah.
I see. All right, so you got a critical victory there. Would you like an alley-oop? Would you like to prevent Chief Scowell from acting for the remainder of the scene? No. Or would you like to dip the danger gauge?
Yeah. We're taking that danger gauge back down to the previous level.
All right, yeah, danger gauge goes back down to 4, so we are now out of the medium threshold and back to low.
Excellent.
Just shoving the horror back in the, like, no, you get back in there. What is that one
God,
piece
I love
gif?
the danger gauge.
Danger gauge is great.
Situations like this where we're all assisting make me think of I've been playing Don't Rest Your Head recently, and I was like, oh, you know what would be so interesting is if people who assist also face the same consequences of. But then I was like, okay, but in situations like this, if Amari had failed, it would have literally taken us all out immediately.
I
Which
mean,
would be very funny.
There is a level of like we're engaging in social like stuff as a group, and if one person fails, the entire group's credibility just gets thrown out the window.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
But
True.
like at the same time,
Oh,
you could also
Mike's
come back
thinking
from
about
that
it.
too in social situations. So.
Sure, and we could too, but we would just like the consequence of it would be we would just need to need to be a separate scene before we could try again to salvage that.
New rule: if you're assisting on a roll and it fails, you take the consequence of the
One step down.
threshold below where you currently are. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Fun.
Now that assumes everyone is helping and you fail a roll.
Yeah.
Right.
Watch me do
Gotta
that.
have that capacity.
Yeah.
With this group, you always gotta ask, what if, though?
All right.
Cool shout out to Fred Hicks and the awesome game Don't Rest Your Head for giving us this brand new mechanic.
Fascinating. Writing that down for later.
It's like good art.
As you look, I have well established that the Aether system is wholesale pillaging from so many other
It's
sources.
a hodgepodge.
It is a hodgepodge indeed.
a refrigerator soup of tabletop RPGs.
Yum, yum, yum.
So, as you try to assuage the discontent that is building within Chief Scowl and your wife, you do so admirably. You tell them about the situation, and while everything you're saying is bad, nothing is good about what you are detailing here. You are letting them know in such a way that it feels like you are in control, and you're maybe not saying it, but there's definitely an implication that you can handle what is happening here.
It's all
Level
about
heads will
communication.
prevail.
You know,
I just
like
took a-
liars.
I just took a seminar at my new job about how to tell customers bad news. So, just Florian's using
go.
this out of character knowledge.
Chief Scowl is very concerned about the escaped Imperial prisoner loose in the surrounding area. He lets you know that besides the 2 ships that you arrived on and the land vehicles that are also at the landing pad, there is no transport on this world. There's nowhere for him to really go. The surrounding environment isn't dangerous per se, but it is just wild territory, and the initial surveys of this world didn't indicate that anything was predatory to sapient life, but just being out in the woods is dangerous if you're doing it by yourself.
How often does a transport show up to pick up their mined materials?
Once a phase.
Once a phase? Okay. Because, I mean, I don't know if he was super concerned about just getting away from stuff. I'd go camp out for a long time if he had the ability to survive, then hop on one of those when they weren't expecting it, right?
Wasn't there one that was coming relatively soon?
You've got a couple of things coming relatively soon. Within the turn span, there is going to be more infrastructure dropped off at the behest of Layla. The next pickup date isn't until the 20th of next month. It's a while. So, yeah, unless you're willing to wait until the 20th of Waithius, he would recommend that the only other ways off this planet are either the ships that are coming next turn span or the 2 that you've got at the
And I
landing platform.
I will quickly interject that I would like to Layla that I would like to sweep her ship with the guards, if there's any place where he could be hiding to try to steal it. Because I can sense out his etheric signature now, so I can probably find him if he's there, just to make sure that he's not that it's not he's just going to camp in the woods, which I think is our best case scenario.
And yeah, she'd agree to that and dispatch. Would you want one or two of the guards with you?
How about we take two of them? Because I probably can't take this dude on by myself if he just fucks up one of these guards.
Okay. So, just to be clear, there are 3 guards left. One of them is currently stationed at the entrance to the first murder scene. And the other 2 are now going to be accompanying Shay in sweeping the Radiant One.
Unless you would like me to only take one. Again, these aren't my... Like, I'm deferring to Amari here, I guess.
I think doing a thorough sweep is important.
Yeah.
Especially because,
Do we
whatever
need
we
a
decide
guard?
about.
Do we need a guard standing outside the murder scene at the moment?
I mean, I don't think so.
I
Unless
guess crime
there's...
scene is the word, but
Yeah, I guess Chief Scowell can just tell people, hey, don't go in there. It's off limits, and hopefully they listen, right? I don't know if there's any sort of bad thing that can happen with people interacting with one of these de-8th bodies. Who knows? But, yeah. I mean, it's also the same point of, like, I don't know if we need a perimeter guard at this point because what we're dealing with potentially is not visible.
You also don't have enough just rando guards to maintain a proper watch rotation at this point.
So, yeah.
Layla would let you know that she is in contact with the rest of her pride and is trying to get people here as quick as she can, but there are going to be at least another 2 turns before anybody gets here.
What is their reactions to us telling them about the message, leave while you can, and the bringing up the option of, can we somehow just get everybody off world until this gets dealt with by somebody who isn't us, which we have just said that we could probably handle it, so that's maybe not. Maybe I don't add that part, but just like, hey, what do we think about maybe evacuating? So that no one else gets fucking murdered.
No one is necessarily against that idea. Layla would even say, well, we probably have enough supplies to last at least until other ships arrive, if we split the crews evenly between our 2 ships. I will say Scowl is a little dismissive of the idea of it being some kind of ghost, but he will say maybe don't spread that news around to the other miners, because they can be a little superstitious about that sort of thing.
Well,
is that a problem, though? Like,
just so you know, Daryl knows.
Yeah, Daryl does sort of
And
know.
he will, like, and look over, and you see Daryl,
He's, like,
making big
whispering.
hand gestures,
Yeah.
talking to everyone at a table.
Yeah. So, we didn't know that Daryl was the camp gossip.
Yeah.
We should have assumed, though.
I was gonna say, like, Oswald, did you find any information about ways in which people have dealt with these force ghosts at all?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Otherwise, Mike would have mentioned it.
Okay.
You rolled okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. I rolled enough, but not, more than that.
Show me a couple critical victories, and I'll let you know the bad guy's secret weakness. In the stories that you read, there is no dealing with these things. It's just
getting
the
away.
horror happens, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
Well, because what's left over of the ghost is their, like, etheric signature and stuff like that. So would having that, would putting someone in a lead lined box like the room have any sort of ability to trap that aether inside?
It seems all of the logic you're spelling out there makes total sense.
Okay.
So,
Are you talking about busting a ghost, Reed?
I may be talking about busting a ghost, Mike.
It makes him feel good.
Yeah.
That's
my
all
gosh,
we can
wait.
hope for.
Wait. There are 4 Ghostbusters. There are 4 of us.
Oh shit, tag yourself. Oswald is
Think I-
Ray. Or maybe Egon is more appropriate, actually.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think
It's the only
Florian
clear
is
one.
Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is very important.
So I think I'm Ray and Florian is Venkman? That doesn't seem right.
No. Shay is Venkman.
Oh no, I'm Venkman, aren't I? Oh boo.
Yeah.
Can I be the cartoon Venkman?
Yeah, we're playing by real Ghostbusters rules.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, am I Dave Coulier Venkman though?
Unfortunately.
Shit.
These
Damn,
are the
I
cards
don't
you
even get
dealt.
to be Lorenzo Music Venkman. That sucks.
Wait, so what did that make Amari?
Ray.
Okay.
Which
You're Ray.
and
And if we're playing by cartoon rules, that makes Mara Slimer. So
Yes.
oh no, it's
No.
Slimer in the real
Slimer.
Ghostbusters then. Oh no.
Oh.
Vesnus is Janine.
uh,
Okay, but we do have a group Halloween costume now.
Yeah.
just to get this straight, Amari, even though you didn't say this in your character voice, you're saying that we are to lure this specter into our lead room, perhaps, and trap it?
No, I didn't say any of that at all. No. Yes.
Well,
Yeah, that is the
you were
idea.
thinking it. I could see it in your vacant stare off into the distance.
Mhm. You could read it in the drool hanging from my lip. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if this darkling has attached itself to somebody, or is now free of that person, putting them inside of a lead box would trap it, theoretically, right? It's aether.
Yes, that's correct.
So if we can entice it in
do
there.
we know that? We know that ghosts are aether. Darklings are a separate thing. I mean, they're sometimes conflated. I should be saying this in my character voice. They're sometimes conflated, but they're not.
They behave
I mean,
in
I don't
similar ways, but you are correct.
Yeah.
There's-
We don't know that it.
So we have a hypothesis. I think we should probably test it so we can determine whether or not it's going to work.
Right. How do we test that?
Yeah, and what hypothesis is that we're testing?
If the lead line box can trap an aether ghost /
Oh.
darkling.
So yeah, we're
I
figuring
would
out how to lure
say-
it.
I would say that it would work, seeing as lead lining is what we were using to protect Florian during jumping, during a jump.
That's true.
So stands to reason it would work on whatever this is. So how do we lure it into this onto our ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah,
That's-
not
that
great.
is the other problem. Is like, okay, then do we just have that? And if we do have that, it means that the new room that we have is just a ghost box now,
Yeah.
and no longer able to be used for its original purpose.
Right. That is true.
It's just like that's where that thing lives
Right,
forever.
And then we autopilot the ship into the sun, I think is what.
But I just built it.
I know, but it has a ghost room
You
now.
could.
Well,
Actually,
okay, by,
actually, that
like-
is not true. Wait. We wouldn't have to. We could deliver it to the archive guy and then
There's-
have that. Then it would be taken care of instead of me.
Yes. Except, let's not forget, the archive, they do work
I'm assuming. Whoa, wait. Who is here for this conversation?
Yeah,
Because
that's
if
good-
We're
there
up
are
on a stage. The
people-
lights are on us.
because-
We're all mic'd up.
We're all
Because
mic'd up.
if Layla
Oh,
and
shit, Ariel's here.
Scowl are still
They're-
here, then I'm not talking about this. 'Cause
Yeah.
Okay.
Florian's dumb, but he's not like actually dumb.
No, we could all be outside having this conversation, you know.
Well, because I was gonna say,
yeah.
if
after
this,
after you
if we if this part of the conversation
We gotta
is
huddle
happening,
up.
I don't think Shay is here for it, because I think that I am like sweeping Layla's ship. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, good call.
I assumed that you had probably like said like you and dipped.
yeah,
Mhm. And the rest of us are like,
Okay.
we gotta huddle up over here.
All right, okay. Here's a thought.
Yes.
If it's Aether, can we somehow force it into one of our extra large batteries that we've requisitioned and just jam it into one of those, then throw it into the sun?
So now you are literally talking about Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am talking about Ghostbusters. Yes.
Is this a show that I'm not familiar with this? Is this on the
We
internet?
We don't know.
yes, it is. Ghostbusters is a universal constant.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
It is the through line.
It's a web series in this universe.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's no like outlet though to get it into the battery, because it's just a thing. It's just like
Right.
a little guy.
Well, okay.
The thing about ghosts is that they're mostly made of energy. That wouldn't stop them. The whole idea of like a ghost picking up an object in this setting would be literally it is the aether inside of an object that is now flying around the room hitting you.
I have
So
an
trapping a ghost inside of a battery, not a ridiculous plan.
We would need some sort of vacuum.
some sort of aether leech.
That is, I mean, it would be bad, but that is an option if it came down to it.
Wait, you sorry, are we now suggesting that? I just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
No. We are not. You just said.
yeah.
I just
We are
said
spitballing
two
ideas
words.
right now.
There are no bad ideas. I just said I put two words together and I'm just seeing what happens. Now, where you took it, Florian, is that somebody is going to
Based on
take.
the literal definition of the words you said.
I'm just saying words here, okay? You put the
I'm just-
context in there.
I'm just saying, if it needed to happen,
Yes.
if it is aether based, it could happen.
So then, how do we get it out of the individual who, well, becomes the vessel?
There are no bad ideas
There are
in
no bad ideas.
brainstorming.
Okay.
Speaking
so
of bad ideas, well,
how
I'll
far-
hold off.
Okay, so Florian, this is Reed saying and confirming some stuff out of character. Florian, you have to be touching something to Aether Leech.
Mm-hmm.
Shay, do you
Only
have to be
Shay.
touching?
No, only Shay has.
You do
doesn't have
not
to be
want this
touching
thing in my
because-
body, bruh.
No.
I know. I'm just confirming some things. Okay.
Yeah.
Same
And
with
that's
Oswald.
because
Oswald,
of
you have
Shay's
to touch
wizard
it.
abilities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only wizards that can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would also have to touch something, yeah.
Which is why they become vampires. Which is
Yeah.
what we don't want Shay to turn
Right.
into.
So here's the
It would be
thing.
bad, yes.
Can Shay, can you manipulate Aether in someone else's body to move it towards another person, not yourself?
I haven't.
I have.
Right, but see, it's not the touch. Like I'm trying to get Shay to you suck up the ghost, then Shay not touching anyone moves that ghost from A to B, B being the battery.
The problem
In
with
the lead room.
Shay not touching is that like Shay is still manipulating the etheric energy, and it's still like that doesn't. That is just how Shay touches Aether is
Yeah.
without physical touch, so it would still potentially affect them in the same.
And that's still
Way.
maybe the worst case scenario out of all of us possessed.
Well, I mean, in that case, then if Florian can do it and then displace, then immediately spend the ghost into something, you know.
The other, and this is completely out of character because Florian would not suggest this, but the other thing is like, he's maybe crossed the threshold of where this is going, so
I mean,
just put more ghost in him.
well, okay. Well, what if
Or-
you saw? Okay, so here, well, let's think more vaguely. You, maybe not more vaguely, but more specific in certain regards, but more vague in a different aspect. The person that is Florian, encompasses your mechanical arm. Can you detach your mechanical arm? You absorb it into yourself, you push it all to your fingertips, and then you just get rid of that arm.
No. The arm that I have is not technologically advanced enough to do that, I don't think.
Okay. Jab a USB into it.
I will say, the idea of pulling energy into oneself to use is not exclusively used by those with Aether Leech. Aether Leech lets you replenish your personal Aether and then just keep it. Anyone can use Aether from a separate source, so long as they're in contact with it. So the idea of, like, say, shoving a ghost somewhere is something Amari is even capable of.
So, I guess we have our volunteer. All right, Amari. Let's do this.
One of us.
So-
None of us can fly through the void.
True. Well, shake it.
Now, the others could eat said ghost,
Yeah, just
but Amari can at least shove it.
yeah.
Nom, 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 nom.
Damn, should one of us
Okay.
eat this ghost?
Now, okay, we technically have an incredibly reckless way to transfer this ghost into a battery. So we have a trap, theoretically. The next question is, how do we find this ghost? And I have a solution.
I'm all
I
ears.
say. We,
also, I'm not here. I forgot.
Yeah.
right, yes. The sensor at the bottom of the mine is more sensitive, correct? It perhaps could help navigate us.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what sort of equipment it is, how large, or if it's like portable or anything like that. It's something we could move up here with any sort of ease.
No, we could ask.
As you're debating possible methods of
Ghost
sensing
entrapment.
I think it's ghost
ghost
busting.
entrapment, what you might have available to you that could be used as bait. Shay, you find yourself moving on to the Radiant One with two of Layla's guards. They ask if you want to be accompanied as you move through the ship, or if you want them posted at the entrance to the ship in case somebody tries to circle back around and leave.
Well, those are
Or do
actually
you want to go one and one?
both really great options.
It's like they're paid to think about this sort
I
of thing.
know, and I'm not. I'm stupid. Okay. How about they stay posted at the entrance? Because, like, if I get knifed or whatever and he tries to escape, then at least he'll get stopped and I can, like, deal with that whole situation.
Okay. They give you a brief layout of the Radiant One. It's not a huge ship. It's probably a little bit smaller than the Tiresian, honestly. It is mostly a passenger craft. There's not a lot of like cargo space in this ship. The ramp that you go up to get into the ship actually leads into a long hallway that goes down the entire length of the vessel. If you head right, you will pass a kind of lounge area that's used for like the mess and some light entertainment, as well as the what's called the ambassador's quarters. This was some kind of ambassadorial craft, but that is like Layla's rooms. And then past that is the bridge.
Okay.
If you hang a left at the top of those stairs, that is crew's quarters and engineering and some like odds and ends equipment rooms.
Okay.
It is pretty straightforward layout.
All right.
In theory, if you're standing at the top of this ramp and looking to your left and to your right, you can see the entire length of the ship, and there is only one other exit from the ship, and that is on the bridge.
Okay. So when I get to the top, I will start kind of feeling out for this etheric signature. Sorry.
Okay. Reaching out with your etheric senses, you cast about, and it's odd. It feels like your etheric sense isn't reaching as far as it should.
No, stupid ghost.
And in the immediate vicinity, you cannot feel a sense of Prontus Macius.
All right. Well, I will go right first.
Okay. Towards the lounge and the ambassador's quarters and the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. You move up and into this main hallway, and it's dark in here. No lights come on as you enter the ship. There's still a little bit of light from like a viewport in the lounge, and you can see down the hallway directly into the bridge, and there's like the view screens there that shed daylight into this ship. So it's not black by any means, but it's just there's no
Lights
interior
on?
lighting as far as you can tell.
Is there like a light panel I can use?
Yeah, just inside in the hallway you see there's a small control panel for like regulating interior lights and climate control.
Okay. I'd like to turn the lights on.
The panel doesn't respond to you.
I am going to get on my comms
Okay.
to like our group and say, I might be coming back out to you guys. Something funky's happening.
And you get this response that is just this
Yep. Going back
static sound.
back downstairs, march downstairs.
And you come out and glance around at the night of the world around you. Glance around. The fact that it was before noon
Yeah.
and now it is nighttime takes you by surprise, to say the least.
I would say so.
The more upsetting feature is the fact that normally there's like a weird haze to the air, this kind of like yellowish haze that you were alerted to when you first came to this planet. And even at night, that kind of was there. And that seems to be an effect of the sun reflecting off of the gas giant that this moon orbits.
Mm-hmm. Is it a different
The night you can
color?
see. Yes, it is. How did you know? You glance up and you see eclipsed in the sky is the gas giant with a thin corona of white light around it, but all the other color that bleeds off of it is a swirling green with little strands of purple woven through it.
I don't want to be here. And the guards, like there's nobody here.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Shay, sorry for our darling listeners. Shay is doing what I'm doing, having heard that, and is just sort of like doing the throat cut gesture at themselves, like, okay, no more talk. The signifier of, okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. There's no, I can't see, and like, there's nobody. Like, I'm alone.
Turn around and look, and the guards aren't there. You turn and look towards the radiant one. It appears empty, and you do a full circle until finally you're standing face to face with a perfect shadowy reflection of yourself wearing a bone white mask.
Like heartless. Oh shit.
And it seems to be turning at the exact same time as you until you're facing each other. And it is standing in the exact same posture as you.
How? Shay tries to, God, how, oh my God, I don't even know how does this feel at all similar to when I'm not astral projecting, but sort of astral projecting, like when I'm not in my body?
No.
No?
You feel the earth beneath your feet. You feel gravity. You feel the strange cold sensation as your etheric senses extend barely any distance beyond your body. But other than that, it feels normal as it can be
Yeah.
beneath an emerald sun facing a shadowy doppelganger.
Yeah. I run towards the Tiresian.
You turn and move, and the reflection turns and moves so that it is moving parallel with you as you move towards the Tiresian. You see the Tiresian is this long, proud ship converted from a vessel of war into something more akin to spycraft. And as you move towards it, the cargo bay ramp is still down as you left it before.
I am trying to get to our lead-lined room. This thing is following me so close. I want to try to get into the room and move the panel like before it can follow me, I guess.
And you sprint in, and this thing is tracking you movement for movement as though it is anticipating exactly what you're going to do, moving in parallel. And as you move up the stairs in the cargo bay, it is on the opposite side of the cargo bay, moving up the other set of stairs. You both meet and converge at the hallway and begin moving at it in parallel. You are on the right side of the hallway and duck into the room and slam the door, and there's a whomp on the other side of the door as something hits it on the opposite side. And then you are alone inside of a lead-lined room.
Nothing happened, though. It didn't fix it.
It is dark in here.
Yeah.
And a voice says, "Is everything okay, Shay?
Oh, Mara, it's not. How
Is there
are
anything
you
I can do to
here?
help? I have always been here."
I'm not here right now. It's hard to explain.
Fascinating. Is this a metaphysical question? I am beginning to understand those.
It might be. I was on the Radiant one, the other ship, and I very suddenly couldn't get in contact with anyone after I had reached out with my etheric senses. There was just static, and then I came outside, and it was dark, and there was nobody around, and the sun was green, and not like a good green, you know?
I do not.
Green is the void. Do you know about the void?
Of course.
Right. And there was a shadowy version of me with bone white mask on, and moving in parallel with me, and I thought maybe if I got to the Tiresian's lead-lined room that maybe it would fix it all, but it didn't. And so now I'm here talking to you, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't know how to get back to where everyone else is. And I don't know
Everyone
how...
else is up at the mining camp.
No, I know, but they're not from my perspective.
I see.
I can't see anyone, even when I'm outside.
I do not wish to offend you, Shay, but I think you might be perceiving reality in a way that is untrue. Hallucination is the word I would associate with your experience at this moment.
Oh, nuts.
Are you experiencing that as well?
Nuts? Oh, yeah. That might be.
Oh my god, she's learning. She can make puns now.
I don't know how to stop hallucinating.
I have very little experience in these matters.
Yeah. Me too.
If you'd like, I could summon the others to the ship.
Yeah, if you could let them know what I told you.
I can do that, Shay.
I won't be able to see them or hear them, but...
We shall see upon their arrival, I suspect.
Yeah. My voice sounds normal in here?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Okay.
You all get an alert on your comms from Mara saying that Shay is experiencing some kind of hallucination and is currently on the isolation room aboard the Tiresian.
Oh, but let us go.
Nuts. Well, yeah.
We head that way.
And we're off.
Okay. You get to the Tiresian pretty quick. You find the two guards standing outside of your ship. and they are awkwardly looking at each other as you approach, and then one will nudge the other one, and the one that got nudged will step up and say, sir, we were just about to contact you. Something your companion has,
Yeah, they're experiencing hallucinations.
Yeah, I already know. Thanks.
Wait,
Oh, is that what's happening?
It's
Okay.
it's a possible effect of the thing that's here, the thing that's killing people.
Yeah, what did you see?
We saw them enter the Radiant One. They lingered in the central hallway for a moment, and then ran outside and had some kind of panic attack, and then fled back to your ship.
Okay.
all right. Well, let's go make sure they're okay.
Okay. Do you want us to accompany you or
No, stand watch.
return to the Geminis?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, we should have someone. Yeah, I mean, we kind of need Shay to do the scan of the Radiant One.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
So you all troop back up onto the Tiresian, and as you come aboard, Mara's voice quietly tracking with you so that she can't be heard outside of the ship will say, "Thank you for making haste. I'm worried about Shay."
As are we. Thank you for letting us know. Where on the ship are? Oh, they're in the safe room.
The isolation chamber that you constructed, yes.
Yes. Okay. Excellent.
You troop up the stairs onto the catwalk overlooking the cargo bay and then troop down the hallway. And Oswald and Amari are moving down the hall towards that door. It's just ahead of you on the right. And Florian, you see the dark figure standing just outside of the door, hand pressed against the isolation chamber, and it turns and looks down the corridor with a bone-white mask towards you. And I think it is there that we are going to end today's session of Material Components and find out exactly what this Darkling has intended next time. Because as always, you can find us online at MatcomRPG on Twitter and Instagram. You can also email us at materialcomponentsrpg@gmail.com. We always love hearing from all of our listeners.
You can find me on Twitter at CryOutOlivia. I am always there talking about D&D and other RPGs and also just a lot of other nerd stuff. So come hang out.
You can find me on Twitter at Elliot C. Lewis. I'm an illustrator and graphic designer, doing a lot of tabletop RPG and other fan art. You can also support me on Patreon and Ko-fi. Links to both of those are in my Twitter profile.
You can find me at The Readamus on Instagram and Twitter, where I post jokes and lots of photos of nature. So come check it out.
And you cannot find me on social media, but what you can do is support our show by rating and reviewing it on whatever platform you're listening to it on. Please, please, please do so.
Indeed, and finally, you can find me personally on Twitter and Instagram at MKGorgoni, where I'm always happy to talk about all things Material Components. But as always, the world is chaos, so please, be kind to each other. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.